Trauma unexamined becomes tradition. Fear unchallenged becomes fate. You either rewrite the loop or you pass it down. That's not just a poetic line. It's the operating system update. And you already know what happens when you ignore updates. Your computer slows, bugs multiply, malware sneaks in, and eventually it crashes. Trauma is uninstalled software left rotting in your psyche. Fear is the virus scanner you never run. If you don't patch it, you hand the same buggy programs to the next generation. Congratulations, you've just made dysfunction hereditary. Imagine you inherit a house. Looks fine from the outside, but every room has ghosts. Traumas unexamined. You can ignore them, live with them, pretend the drafts and creaks are normal. Or you can flip the lights on, face them, name them, clean the damn place out. If you don't, your kids inherit the same haunted house. And they think ghosts, they're just part of life. Fear's like weeds. If you never pull them out, they choke the flowers. You can spray perfume on the soil. Tell yourself, this is just how gardens look. But weeds left unchecked become fate, a dead patch of earth. Challenge the fear, pull the weeds, and suddenly the same soil grows beauty. A father never dealt with his own father's anger. He stayed quiet, bottled it. His son grew up, learning silence meant safety. That son raises his child. And now that kid apologizes just for existing. 3 generations of quiet suffering, because one man didn't face his shit. That's how trauma mutates in tradition. That's what passing it down looks like. How do you already do this without knowing? Think of every time you learned a skill, riding a bike, typing on a keyboard, tying your shoes. You rewrote loops of failure into success. You didn't just accept failing as fate. You challenged it. Fear of failing was upgraded into balance. You already know how to rewrite patterns. The only difference here is you've got to apply the same skill to the emotional level. So how can you do it in new ways? When you catch yourself repeating a family phrase, that's just the way it is. Stop, ask, is it true or is it tradition? When you feel fear, clench your gut. Chunk it up. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, still obeying that fear. How small, how stagnant would you be? Chunk it down. What's one tiny brave act that you could do today to bend the pattern? Even whispering, not anymore to yourself, rewires the loop. Why does this work? Neuroplasticity. Every thought is a neural trail. Trauma. It's a well-worn rut. The brain loves efficiency, so it keeps defaulting there. But here's the kicker. The moment you choose a new thought, a new action, a new perspective, you start carving a different trail. Repetition lays down the myelin sheath. The old trail starts overgrowing. That's how meditation works. That's how therapy works. That's how belief change works. It's not woo, it's wiring. Karma isn't cosmic punishment. It's compound interest. If you don't deal with your debt, it snowballs. If you don't examine your trauma, your kids inherit it with interest. If you don't challenge fear, it calcifies into this is just who I am. That's not faith. That's neglect. And neglect is a choice. So why are you afraid to do it? Because fear whispers, if I face this, I'll be rejected. or if I challenge, I'll lose people. But here's the paradox. You're already losing people by not changing. Losing them to distance, disconnection, silence. The tribe you're afraid of displeasing is already fractured by the very silence you maintain. The top loops the people get stuck in. Playing small to avoid criticism. Confusing guilt with love. Equating control with safety. Worshipping tradition just because it's old. Believing faith is fixed instead of written daily. Every single one of those is just an unexamined trauma masquerading as wisdom. When you feel confused, your brain is between maps. That's not weakness, that's opportunity. Erickson knew. Confusion makes the mind open. Like when a computer throws an error screen, waiting for new input. That's when you sneak in with a new command. You're not broken, you're updating. If you think not examining trauma protects you, look again. It guarantees pain multiplies. Fear only tries to keep you safe, but it does so by locking you into a prison. Thank it, then take the keys back. Which matters more, temporary discomfort, facing your fear, or permanent regret, watching your descendants repeat your mistakes? If your car's brake squeals, do you say, that's just tradition? Or do you get them fixed before the whole system fails? This isn't about your fear. This is about rewriting the DNA of your lineage. It's as small as taking one deep breath when you want to shut down and saying one honest word instead of silence. Listen, life will hand you two choices. Break the loop or bleed the loop. Rewrite the code or pass down the virus. Fear is a liar dressed as a guard. Trauma, it's an unpaid debt that doubles every year. You can either wake the fuck up and examine it, or you doom your bloodline to inherit ghosts they never asked for. The science backs it. The soul screams it. The karma enforces it. And your unconscious already knows it. So from this moment forward, let it be written in your bones. Trauma unexamined will not be your tradition. Fear unchallenged will not be your fate. You're the author. You're the loop breaker. And everything downstream from you changes the second you decide. Not this time. Not with me.